In 1957, Dr. Seuss released a children's book titled How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the story of how a grumpy hermit creature plotting to steal all the presents from the citizens of Whoville has become one of the most iconic holiday stories alongside The Christmas Carol and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Of course, I was introduced to this mean green thieving machine when it was adapted into a 1966 television special directed by animation legend Chuck Jones and featured the amazing voice talent of horror film icon Boris Karloff as the titular character. The Grinch was later brought to life yet again in the year 2000, this time through the vision of director Ron Howard and the performance of Jim Carrey, which also brought its own unique take on the story with its own brand of, charm.
It's not a dress, it's a kilt! Sicko!
Okay.
The film not only became the highest grossing Christmas film at the time, but has also made the Grinch to be an iconic meet and greet character during the holidays at the Universal theme parks. And now, he's back to a whole new generation of moviegoers, this time through the magic of computer animation by Illumination Entertainment. Now, the best way to describe this new adaptation is that it feels like a middle ground between the two previous incarnations. It seems to follow the art style, expressions, and slapstick of the Chuck Jones version, but also manages to bring it on a cinematic scale and give the characters more depth like the Ron Howard version, while still using its own adaptation in its heart and humor. There were even some scenes that would pay homage to the previous versions, as well as some other works of Dr. Seuss. The animation is Illumination's best work by far. Both in character animation and in the backgrounds, the concept designers and animators have taken the art style of Dr. Seuss and translated them into full 3 dimensions with pure passion and dedication. But I believe the biggest aspect of this version is how the characters are well developed. In both the Chuck Jones and the Ron Howard versions, the Grinch was seen to have a serious hatred of the citizens of Whoville.
Okay.
Here, however, we see the Grinch just trying, and somehow failing, coping on how the Who's overenthusiastically celebrate the holidays and showing his tragic backstory, thus making him somewhat relatable. Also, Benedict Cumberbatch gives a lot of charm and charisma as this green meanie. He manages to make the Grinch wild and hilarious as Jim Carrey's performance, but also make him sly and scheming as Karloff's portrayal.
The present. This is our enemy. You will want to unwrap it and play with it. But you must not! If you can get past the present, the only obstacle left is the cookie. Look at it in all its red, sugary splendor. No! Look at yourselves. Discipline. We must resist.
I also love how they gave Cindy Lou Who some more personality and her side of the story of her plan to capture Santa Claus with the help of her friends. This gives the film an extra touch of heart, plus bonus points of how she can travel all over Whoville with an inner tube and a hockey stick. Even the dog Max and the portly reindeer Fred have their moments to shine by showing their loyalty to the Grinch, and in return seeing him show some humanity. On top of that, there are plenty of wonderful voice acting by the likes of Angela Lansbury as the mayor of Whoville, Kenan Thompson as the Grinch's jolly neighbor, and even Pharrell Williams was surprisingly good as the film's narrator. Cap it off with a beautiful score of Danny Elfman, a collection of Christmas hits, and I have a sure feeling that, much like the previous 2 incarnations, this version of Dr. Seuss's tale of how the Grinch stole Christmas will go down as a timeless holiday classic. Also, don't forget to check out the Jailbreak short before the film, Yellow is the New Black, starring those hilarious minions. I highly recommend to go out and see it in theaters this holiday season, and wait for it to come out on Blu-ray or digital next Christmas.